Okay, welcome to the meeting of the City Planning Commission. Members are participating remotely by Zoom or in person in the commission chamber. Jim Schrader is serving as chairman this evening. Please note the following instructions for the meeting. If you're joining by Zoom, please make sure that your microphone is muted until it is your time to speak. For those in attendance via Zoom, please use the raise your hand feature when you want to speak on an issue. The chairman will recognize you when it is your time to speak. Please unmute your microphone and state your name and address before giving your comments. If you are in the commission chamber, please come to the microphone at the front of the room when your agenda item is called. If you're having trouble logging into the Zoom meeting, please see the planning department at wicokck.org. I'm sorry, I skipped roll, so we can go do that.
Well, and you, this is the Landmarks Commission, this is the Planning Commission, but that's okay.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
it's the same spiel.
Yeah.
I'm
Landmarks
trying
Commission.
to get so that my glasses aren't reflecting. Sorry, I don't know why that's looking so weird. Yeah, would you please call roll, Rose?
Okay. So Schrader,
Here.
Gerber,
Here.
uh, Townsend,
She said present.
okay. Welcome Hill,
Good evening.
and Hutton.
Here.
Okay. And it looks like Chamberlain, Curtis, and Findorf are absent right now. Okay, we can move on to the landmarks minutes, the approval of
Yes.
those.
I hope that everyone was able to look through the landmarks minutes that Rose sent out as a part of the agenda, the amended agenda. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes from the January 5th, 2026 meeting?
I provide a motion to accept.
Thank you, Linda. Do I hear a second?
This is Commissioner Welcome Hill. I second, please.
All in favor, please say, oh, I see Commissioner Chamberlain coming in. Commissioner Chamberlain, we're voting on the minutes. So all in favor of approving the minutes from the January 5th, 2026 meeting, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are accepted. Okay, next item on our agenda, it's a very abbreviated agenda, obviously, is the election of chairman and vice chairman for 2026. We typically do this on an annual basis. I will open the floor for nominations first for chairman for 2026.
I would,
Commissioner Welcome Hill, is your hand up?
I will give lead to my esteemed colleague, Commissioner Hutton.
I appreciate that, Mickey, but I got too many other things on my plate, and I would make a substitute motion that Jim Schrader serve as the chairman.
I
All right, we have a motion.
wholeheartedly second that motion.
Okay. Are there any other, before we do this, are there any other nominations from the floor? Hearing none, I guess we will vote on this motion. I don't think we need to do a roll call. Or all in favor say aye
Aye.
or raise your
Aye.
hand.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, I will accept the chairmanship for 2026. I will
Thank
now
you.
open the floor to nominations for vice chairman for 2026.
Mr. Chairman, I would nominate Mickey Welcome Hill as vice chair.
And I, Linda Gerber, will second that.
Okay. Are there any other nominations from the floor? Well, then I would go for a vote for accepting Mickey Welcome Hill as our vice chairman for 2026. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
I
Any opposed? All right. Well, thank you, Mickey Welcome Hill, for agreeing to be vice chair for 2026.
Thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate your confidence.
Okie doke. That's most of our business, if not all of our business. But we do have some reports that I would like to do, and I will open it up first to staff. Randy, would you give us an update on what's been going on from staff point of view, please?
This is Randy Greaves, historic preservationist. Since our last meeting, we have done 2 administrative reviews, 1 state law, 1 a C of A that was given an exemption for in-kind repairs. I don't recall exactly what the work was. I believe it was roof work in the West Height area. Since our last meeting, we have released the RFPs for the consultant hiring process for the downtown design guidelines. We've got about another month before we expect to hear back from our most recent submittal for the National Register nomination of downtown. And I think that's all the updates I have. Got a whole slew of other projects I'm working on. I'm almost done getting all of our state law reviews entered into Acela, which will help us to track those in perpetuity, as well as updating my SOPs to reflect that work. Apart from that, trying to remember what my next project is on my list. Next project is working on presentations for educating our contractors and builders. We're still talking about having a meeting once or twice a year after the landmarks meeting, allowing people who work on historic properties to come in and see what is required of them and ask any questions they may have. So that is my next major project. And that's all I've got.
is that something? I'm sorry, I should have raised my
No,
hand.
you go ahead, please. Yeah, Commissioner Gerber, please. You have the floor.
Thank you. Is that something we can attend to understand more of the requirements? I haven't attended any training and I would like that. And I want to come in person. I feel bad. Like I've been on this commission for a year and I have not been in person. And I need to do that. That's on me, not, but there has been a lot going on in my life a little bit, but now I feel like I can do that this year at some point. And I was just wondering, is that something we can come to? And is there any other training for us? I'd like to be more aware for sure.
This is Randy Grease, historic preservationist. Yes, training of this commission is something that we have not been the best about so far, and is one of my goals this year to improve upon. And yes, you would be more than welcome to attend these meetings. The way I envision it is to invite individuals who want to learn more about how to work on historic properties to a landmarks meeting so they can see what it's like. And then afterwards, use the space to give a presentation and answer questions and help them to understand what the expectations surrounding working on historic buildings is, in an attempt to reduce the number of retroactive reviews we do in a given year, and to hopefully help create a higher quality of work on our historic structures. I will also be looking into I've been in talks with the State Historic Preservation Office of Kansas. We might be able to have one of them come out to give us some training presentations. So I'll need to work more on that, and I'll try to get something created soon.
That would be great. I think just one more note from me. As somebody who probably lives on a historic land, just a lot of things I learned scares me from even approaching this. And I think the education would be extremely valuable to get people to either step up or just want to be a part of it. Because right now, I'll be honest with you, it scares me to even say anything about what is, what is on our land and what we have. And so, yeah, that's just as a note. But I think it is a very important aspect of what I think a lot of people in certain parts of Wyandotte County deal with.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gerber. I find it interesting. One of the things that I wanted to report on in, at the end of this reports thing, but I'll go ahead and do that part right now. And I do see your hand up, Mickey. Um, the UG is restarting, I will call it, uh, updating the zoning code. Uh, and the reason that I'm saying that is the establishment of the Landmarks Commission and what our work and the work that we do and are required to do uh, is all embedded in the zoning code. It's just the way that the city ordinances, the UG's ordinances work. And I say restarting because starting clear back in 2018, there was a big effort community-wide led by the planning department to look at updating the zoning code, which hadn't been updated since the late 1980s. And there was a lot of work that the community did and that the staff did at that point in time. But basically, money ran out and they were not able to finish that effort. In the meantime, we did a lot of work with some master planning. I guess we would call it master planning. Plan KCK was adopted, I believe, wasn't it 2023 was when the Plan KCK was adopted. And part of Plan KCK was an actual historic preservation plan. And there were a lot of objectives and criteria that were established as part of that historic preservation plan that are really quite good. And I will send that out to everybody on the commission. It's got a lot of information, but there's some key things that I think would be good to just look at about uh, what our purpose is as the Landmarks Commission, what things that we could be expanding upon. I know I've been talking with Randy, even before we can get the full zoning code updated, there may be some things that make sense for us to update specifically for historic preservation. But it'll just be interesting to look through that. So that might be a place to start, Linda. It will, because it deals with the fact that we tend to recently been involved with, historic homes and that kind of thing, but historic preservation has is much more expansive than just that. It's also, our cultural history, our archaeologic history, all of those kinds of things that really are part of the purview of what this commission is supposed to be involved with. So I will make sure that between staff and me, we'll get um, a link sent out to everybody on the commission about the historic preservation plan that was adopted, and it's got a lot of good information in it. So that'll get at least a way to start. But I know Randy is trying to work on having some real in-person trainings and the ability for us to go elsewhere throughout the state for in-person trainings as well. Commissioner Welcome Hale, you had your hand up.
Yes, sir. Uh, just to maybe help Linda, since she hasn't been here, we have done trainings in the past, and I would say some of them have been good. Some of them, uh-huh. Um, I would maybe ask Randy when you're looking at entities to work with that you might throw some of that back to us for a second opinion. Um, the last training we had was a little lacking, shall we say. Um, but definitely we need to turn around. And I think we have a requirement that we have to have some sort of training every year as a member of boards within the UG. And just an FYI, Could anyone tell me who the gentleman is in the gray suit sitting on the dais?
Sorry, yes, this is Keith Rankin with UG Legal. I'm sitting in for Mike Farley.
Hello. Thank you.
Well, and the other gentleman is Commissioner Chamberlain. Raise your hand, Hank.
Well, we all know Hank.
Commissioner Gerber.
Well, I don't know Hank, but hi, Hank. But thank you, Commissioner Welcome Hill, for adding that information. And yes, having that extra training would be amazing. And is there anything we can do to help with that? I mean, I would be happy to, because I'm sure, Randy Greaves, you do a great job. Every time I'm on these meetings, I'm amazed at, a lot of things I'm sure you have on your plate. So I appreciate you for, what you do, but if there's things we can do to help or I can do, I know I'm not probably like everything as far as like historical, but I'm, very interested and more that analytical, but I'm in healthcare more, but I definitely deal in data and so forth. So if there's anything I can do to help, happy to.
Thank you. Commissioner Welcome Hill.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I had my hand still raised. Also, just since you mentioned it, I am available, Randy, should you need an extra set of hands. I'm taking a hiatus this semester from college. So if you do need me, I am here.
Now, Randy, I did have some questions about one thing on your report anyway. Um, you mentioned that you're out soliciting consultants to help with creating some design guidelines for the downtown historic district. Can you go over a little bit what you see as the timeline for that? When would a consultant be on board? What would you be expecting? What kind of a time frame would you be asking them to do in terms of coming up with a work product and that kind of thing? Could you fill us in a little bit on that?
This is Randy Greaves, historic preservationist. To start, thank you for your offers of assistance. I will definitely keep that in mind and as I work through my list. As to the design guidelines, this is a project we envisioned being them with the zoning code update. They will have an impact on one another. So we have started to receive bids. I believe we are working through that process, and then we'll have our selection committee hear them over the next month or so. So I'm expecting the work to really begin in the spring into summer, and ideally be done and adopted by the end of the year. This is one of the goals highlighted in our historic preservation comprehensive plan. The idea was to leverage as many historic resources as possible to the downtown core to help ease the rehabilitation of its historic buildings and to help bring in new businesses in tandem with the economic development master plan, the citywide comprehensive plan, and all those sorts of things. So once this project is done, we will be transitioning away from our downtown focus into other areas of our community, which I think will be exciting.
Thank you. Is there anything else, Randy, that you have to report? I have a few things that I'd like to go over quickly try to be quickly before we close the meeting.
I do not.
One thing that I've asked Randy to look at, and he and I have been working a little bit, is to do some kind of a commemoration for the service that our late chairman, Dave Meditz, did for this, for the whole community, but particularly for the Landmarks Commission. So sometime this year, we're hoping to be able to have his widow, Rebecca, and friends and family come to a meeting and do a special presentation about everything that David did for this community and this commission. So we'll keep everybody updated on that as we get a little bit closer to when that might occur. I did want to also mention that both Commissioner Hutton and I have our terms have been updated. The commissioners who had appointed us uh, uh, have reappointed us for another 4 years. So I think that still leaves. I don't know if you've heard anything, Commissioner Chamberlain, about getting your appointment updated. We all serve until we have actually been replaced, so it's not like an issue from that aspect. But
I spoke with Mayor Watson and told her I would serve until she found somebody younger and willing.
well, we there will be other commissioners if she finds somebody younger and willing. That there will be other commissioners who might relish the fact of appointing you as well, Commissioner Chamberlain. So we'll leave that at this. Um, uh, I did want to report also just one more thing about the zoning code update. Um, from what from the last meeting that I was able to participate in, which was I think just last week, it's kind of going to be in two stages where uh, by the end of 2026, there will be a lot of the background done and more input from an advisory group or an informal advisory group, whereas the actual code changes, the ordinances probably will be happening in 2027 because it's a pretty big scope and the ideal, you know, ideally you don't want to do it piecemeal. You want to do it so that it's all done at one time. I know the Planning Commission and we get in the same situation here in the Landmarks Commission. The challenge is that our zoning districts, in fact, there was something that was in front of the UG Board of Commissioners just this last week, where in District 1, there was something that met the current zoning code as far as a use along Parallel Avenue, along Parallel Parkway, but it didn't agree with the Northeast Master Plan. But that's the challenge. Our zoning code has not been updated for all the most recent area plans. And it creates an issue for staff, it creates an issue for developers, it creates an issue for the community. And that's one of the challenges for having a zoning code and zoning districts that have only been updated piecemeal since the 1980s. So that it creates a lot of work, but I think maybe it actually will get done this time. So fingers crossed. And then lastly, I've been continuing to meet with what's called the Historic Preservation Design Board for the 7th Street Church that was demolished for the new downtown community college campus there at 7th and State. The commemoration of the old church is going pretty darn well. I'm excited to know that. I'm still sad that we had to lose that historic church, but the fact that we're going to have all this new investment in downtown and there is going to be a really nice space that will have a lot of the history of that site, both cultural and architectural, some artifacts, including stained glass windows that have been restored that were removed from the building. So it will be a way for the progress to show the history as well. So that's ongoing, and the building is supposed to be open by August. So it's as you've been down there, it's looking very real as those of you can see it. So before we close, are there any other comments or questions that any of my fellow commissioners have? If not, hearing none, I will close the meeting. We don't have to have a vote for that. So we'll see you all next month, I'm assuming. So I guess we'll be the 2nd of March. Take care, everybody, and enjoy this slightly warmer weather.
Sounds
Good
Good night.
night, everyone.